The Browns' decision came on what seemed like a routine Thursday in August, buried in the hum of training camp. General managers paced, coaches dissected film, and somewhere in Berea, Ohio, a fateful call was made. Shedeur Sanders, despite outshining much of the quarterback room, was let go. No warning, no explanation beyond a sterile press release. The internet exploded. NFL Twitter erupted with memes, fans raged, and analysts questioned the sanity of a team that had just watched Sanders run crisp 2-minute drills, read defenses with veteran poise, and command the huddle with a presence that belied his rookie status. His 74% completion rate and 37 touchdowns at Colorado in 2024 weren't flukes. He was showing the same promise in camp. Yet Cleveland, with a history of quarterback misfires, cut him loose, prioritizing Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, and Kenny Pickett in a crowded room where Deshaun Watson's injury left no clear starter. The Browns' rationale, whispered through leaks and vague interviews, pointed to culture fit. Translation: they didn't like Sanders' swagger, his unapologetic confidence, or the spotlight that followed him as Deion Sanders' son. He wasn't deferential, didn't wait quietly for his turn, and carried a brand, complete with a hip-hop track and a larger-than-life persona that made the old guard uneasy. Owner Jimmy Haslam and GM Andrew Berry thought they were sending a message about control. Instead, they handed Sanders the keys to a bigger stage. Within hours of his release, Sanders didn't sulk or fire off cryptic social media posts. He went silent, strategic, and then dropped a bombshell, a $14 million player-owned media and development deal dubbed the Locker Room Legacy Project, announced in a self-organized press conference that left the NFL world stunned. This wasn't a standard endorsement deal or a fleeting nil cash grab. Sanders unveiled a multifaceted empire, youth football training centers in underserved communities, a documentary series chronicling his journey, sports tech investments in wearable quarterback training gear, and a foundation matching donations for youth athletics. He's not just playing football on his terms, he's building a legacy that transcends the game. While the Browns debated whether Gabriel could handle a blitz, Sanders was inking deals with media giants, youth organizations, and digital producers, positioning himself as a cultural force. His brand isn't built on Instagram highlights or viral dances. It's a blueprint for influence, inspiring teammates, fans, and young athletes alike. The NFL's outdated systems couldn't contain him, and Cleveland's attempt to bench his momentum only amplified it. The fallout in Cleveland is palpable. Reports suggest Haslam learned of Sanders' $14 million deal via social media, the mood in the front office shifting from smug to panicked. They thought cutting Sanders would humble him, dim his star. Instead, they unleashed a tidal wave. Within 48 hours, NFL teams started calling, coaches texting, agents circling, ESPN running highlight reels they'd ignored during camp. Sanders' release didn't erase his value. It magnified it. His 138 yards and 2 touchdowns in the preseason opener against Carolina weren't enough for Cleveland, but they're now ammunition for teams like the Indianapolis Colts, rumored to be eyeing him to compete with Anthony Richardson. The Browns' miscalculation wasn't just about talent, it was about failing to grasp the modern game. In 2025, a quarterback's worth isn't just in 40-yard dashes or red zone reads. It's in gravity. Sanders pulls people in, teammates play harder, fans rally, kids emulate his walk. He's a movement, and Cleveland let it walk out the door. The ripple effect is seismic. Mid-tier quarterbacks across the league, game managers clinging to starting roles, feel the heat. Sanders' name lingers in every dip in their stats, every fan chant for change. College and high school athletes see him as a blueprint, proof you can bet on yourself and win. His silence post-release was louder than any rant, a calculated pivot that turned rejection into dominance. The Browns, meanwhile, are stuck in damage control, their depth chart a mess of uncertainty. Flacco at 41 is a stopgap. Pickett on his third team lacks trade value. Gabriel, a third-rounder, hasn't dazzled. Watson's Achilles injury clouds 2025, leaving Cleveland with no clear franchise cornerstone, except the one they cut. Fans flood social media with "Where's Shedeur?" while the team dodges questions about internal politics and jealous staff. Sanders' $14 million move is just the beginning. His youth programs will shape future athletes, his documentary will inspire, and his tech investments could revolutionize training. He's fielding NFL offers but doesn't need a roster spot to dominate the conversation. His influence spans continents, British radio, Australian podcasts, Canadian networks, all buzzing about the quarterback who turned a cut into a coronation. The Browns, tethered to local regret, can't escape the optics. They let go of a player who could have energized their fan base, rallied their locker room, and drawn sponsors without a dime of marketing. Their failure isn't just tactical. It's a masterclass in mishandling modern talent. What's next? Sanders will wait for the right team, one that sees his vision, not just his arm. When he signs, it won't be as a backup or a project. It'll be as a co-founder of NFL superstardom's next era. He's already shifted the paradigm, showing athletes they don't need permission to build their stage. The Browns thought they were writing his ending. Instead, they launched his origin story. Soon, a bold franchise will make the call, signing not just a quarterback but a brand, a leader, a legacy. Cleveland will be a footnote, forever explaining why they let the future slip away. This saga isn't just sports, it's a revolution. Sanders didn't just rebound. He redefined what a comeback looks like, melting rejection into a crown. Which team deserves him? Which GM will swallow their pride? Drop your take in the comments.